Hey everybody, it is Dak here from the Ed Boys, and welcome to a full Tombs of Amascut expert mode run. This is just going to be like my default expert mode run for the most part. When I do like 10 experts in a stream, maybe, 10's kind of a lot. Let's say 5 to 6 experts in a row on a stream. I'll end up switching up my inventory and the invocations a little bit. This is kind of the setup for my default expert currently. The goal of this video is to give you an example of expert mode runs in general, hopefully to show you what to do and maybe what not to do. This is not going to be like a speed run, just perfected run. I'm going to try to talk my way through things and hopefully give you guys some good examples of how to run some expert mode Tombs of Amascut. So if you have any questions about the video, anything that I don't go over when it happens, let me know in the comments section below. That's about it. Let's go ahead and jump in. All right, let's talk about what gear I'm rocking at the moment. Nearly maxed out, but not quite. There's some upgrades you can make. Clearly, these are not Masori pieces. We're not looking at a Tumek in the Shadow here. And this is nearly max melee gear, but no Torva at the moment. Just Bandos here and here. And you could rock the Torva mask if you just have the helmet. If you're only bringing one helmet switch, Torva's not a bad one to camp on. I would go with Masori, though, myself at the moment. And if you just have, like, the Native's Not Face Guard or the Serpentine Helm is extremely popular because of poison. I mean, those are still fine options. Not rocking a Berserker Ring because the Light Bearer is really filthy. So, pretty solid melee gear. And then Light Bearer, Masori. We got Dragon Arrows here for the bow. I'm running a 6-way switch here. I do often bring a helmet switch for 2 more items, but right now I'm going to default down to 6 and just bring a couple extra potions. We got a Sanguinesti, an Occult. This is the Imbued God Cape, Tormented Bracelet, and then Ancestral top and bottom. And for range, we got a T-Bow, Necklace of Anguish, rocking Arma. This is the Assembler, so Ava's Assembler here, and Zarite Vam Braces. And then down here, I am bringing my Blowpipe. I got a BGS and a DDS for a spec weapon. Dragon Claws are a solid spec weapon in here, too. And the Sun Karis can be pretty solid for healing. I like this setup for kind of my default expert run. I do mess around with it more as I do, like, a few experts in a row. This will be expert number 1 on the day for me. So I'm just kind of running my default setup and hoping to give some decent examples of some expert mode runs here. Let's go over and talk about what invocations I'll be running for this. We're doing softcore and a walk for it. It's really not too bad to do hardcore run. Half the time that I die during a softcore run, excuse me, I'll just bounce because I'm already kind of wasting too much time. It depends where I am at in the raid, to be fair, but half the time that I do softcore, I'll leave after 1 death anyway, which means it would be reasonable to run hardcore run, but it does cost you 500k if you run out of lives. With softcore run, you really never have to spend the 500k. It depends how much gear you're bringing to be fair. It maxes out at 500k. Recently, I've been hitting sub 35 more often than not, but it's not every time, so the 40-minute timer is not too bad. I do run Walk the Path for the plus 50. You can definitely get an expert mode without Walk the Path and without Insanity. I'm not running Insanity on this one, by the way. But I will be using Walk the Path for this. I will be making multiple of these expert mode runs so that we have multiple like varieties of setups for invocations. I'll have to do one where I do no Walk the Path and no Insanity. But this time we got Walk the Path going. Running Deadly Prayers. This just means you're getting smited a little bit when you take damage, which is honestly, you don't even notice it's happening half the time. On a diet, it's not like I'm bringing any food in. I am going to eat this before I go in, and this just means that I don't get silk from the supply guy, which is not that big of a deal. I really don't hate need some help and then bumping up the timer in hardcore run if you're trying to find points elsewhere from the invocations that I'm not using. These ones aren't too bad, by the way. For the bug, I have everything but Medic and Aerial Assault. Medic's a pain in the ass in a solo, without a doubt, and then Aerial Assault is not too bad. I do plan on having the Kephri Phantom while I'm fighting Elidness' Warden at the very end of the raid, and that's kind of a pain to have during that. It's still doable, to be fair, but I'd rather have it off because I can at the moment, though that's not a bad one to put on if you're looking to replace any of the others that I have. Lively Larva, Blowing Mud, and more Overlords aren't too bad. This one's a little bit more of a pain DPS-wise. This can slow you down. I just don't find it too bad for the 15-pointer. So I got everything on for Zebak. Upset Stomach's probably the least popular Zebak invocation. I don't mind it too much, but it'll get you sometimes. I do plan on starting with Zebak. Starting with Monkey is not a bad option either. For this run, we're going to be starting with Zebak. And if things go really bad and Upset Stomach screws me, that means I'm only like 3 minutes into the raid. When that happens, I could always restart. Clearly, that's the worst case scenario. I'd have to restart thanks to Upset Stomach. It's not that bad, but if you hate Upset Stomach, understandably, this is one you're trying to replace. I only have Feeling Special on for Akkha. It just makes his special attacks a little bit worse, which in a solo is really not that much of a pain. Stay Vigilant's not too bad. Keep Back and Double Trouble are a little bit more of a pain, to be fair. I got everything on for the monkey. Boulder Dash is probably the most annoying one. It's a lot easier to skip boulders if you don't have this on. And then Mind the Gap could really end your game, but all you got to do is pay attention to his health bar. And I got everything but Insanity going for the Wardens. So, honestly, most of these are not that bad to deal with. Overclocked and Overclocked 2 slightly speed up the ground waves, like 1 tick each time. So, like, this makes it a 5-tick attack. This makes it 4. And then making the Phase 1 and Phase 2 attacks a little bit worse. If you're having a hard time with those phases, then yes, these are a pain. But when it comes down to setting up for Expert Mode, you really should be able to run all of these. And then Insanity in the long run. Again, I will be doing more of these Expert Mode runs, and I'll do one with Insanity. But for now, we are not running Insanity. Alright, if you have any questions on the gear or the invocations for this current setup, let me know. I'm going to go ahead and start the raid. These are just pre-sip items, so I'm going to sip these, grab a Super Combat and another brew. Once I'm feeling pretty good, I usually only bring in the 4 brews, Super Combat, and leave an empty Invi space, because we're going to be dropping that brew for a little bit. Or, not a brew, excuse me. The Super Combat I'm bringing, and we're going to be dropping the Super Combat a little bit. Normally having the extra open Invi space is kind of nice, but this is raid number 1 on the day for me. I'm going to take that extra brew and just deal with picking stuff up. So let me tap these, put this away. I'm going to grab a 3-doser and a brew. Magic gear could go on. And we are off to the races. I'm going to start with Croc. Again, pre-sipping, like Super Combat, arranging, tapping a heart and stuff. Doing the monkey first is really not too bad. But I default to the Croc very often myself, so that I can have salts for the monkey and the warrior. Salts do make a very big difference on the crocodile too, since you can only pot up to 112 range. Being at 125 with the salt is kind of wild, but we won't have that at the moment. Just wait till right as that one goes in. I thought I went a little bit early, but we're good to go. And I'm going to wait a sec for this crocodile. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure it's spawning very soon. Already lost track of time, but I had an idea of what's going on, I guess. Right as this retracts, we could hustle bust, go and step over so we don't get hit by that acid. And right as this one retracts, we could just start going. And again, I'm going to step over for the acid. And we're good to go. I dropped a brew instead of the Super Combat, even though I said that I would drop the Super Combat instead, like 60 seconds ago. But editing DAC is not going to go back and watch that for you, so that I don't make fun of myself, right? Doesn't really matter what you drop, I guess, as long as you remember to pick it up. I mean, don't drop, like, your T-bow. That's pretty ridiculous, right? Alright, let's head in. Melee gear on because I want a BGS spec, so I'm going to sip this Super Combat, drop it there because it's a two-handed weapon. Piety on. Spec 1, we got a magic attack coming in hot. Spec 2, got another magic attack, so we don't got to worry about prayer. So I do have my quick prayers set to the wrong shit. No, I was right. Never mind. Protect from range and rigor so that whenever he's using a range attack or even between the magic attacks, I can double click on my quick prayers. Messed it up to start, but we're doing okay now. This way I'm not using any prayer points. If you double click every tick, 1 tick flicking your prayers, it's pretty annoying and it's not 100% necessary by any means, though it's super convenient for not using any prayer points. As you can see, my prayer points are just not going down as I ramble on about it. And now we're going to stop doing it for a bit. And this is not the optimal jug, is it? He just didn't give me... Didn't really give me an optimal jug, did he? No, yeah, that was the only option is what it was. Oh, no. No, this is good. This is good. You can be 3 squares back from the rock. I went a little early. I was definitely trying to clean this one up. Now we're good, dude. That was all planned. I definitely don't ever mess this up. When I was saying that sometimes I mess it up on that invocations board, I was kidding, of course. Upset stomach can be a bit of a pain. It's pretty good practice for keeping your feet moving, being able to put your character on the right square and the right tick. I'm going to go ahead and pop this jug. There's really not that much acid around, though. We're looking good. Could do some double clicking on the prayer life while we stand here. And see how I turned off my offensive prayer for a second? I even messed it up. We're just going to stop doing that, dude. Don't be a fool. Don't be a fool. Overall, getting out of here without using any restore sips is kind of nice, but it's not that big of a deal. I kind of bring in a lot of potions here. I go a little early on that? No, that was perfect, huh? Cleaned up both rocks, dude. Beautiful. So, we're not necessarily cooking. He's a little under half health, but we're definitely going to get the second wave attack. We also haven't seen any blood spawns, right? So I'm definitely jinxing it, but I'm just trying to be honest. There's a pretty good chance we're dealing with both at the same time here, which it happens if you got the blood spawns turned on. Sometimes it'll spawn right as he's going to do a wave attack. Looks like he's not doing it this time, though. I was going to be A-okay with dealing with it. It's not like there's anything that special you got to do. It's not like there's a one trick. You technically could, like, Wooks walk the blood spawns, but that's harder to do while the waves are going. But if you just keep yourself moving, like if I was just doing this while the blood spawns were here, then they wouldn't be able to catch up to me. I mean, did I turn off blood spawns? We went over invocations together, right? Maybe I already had them and didn't even notice it. Oh, there they are, yo. What's up, fellas? Now, this would be a really good time to double-click the prayers, because I got 12 prayer points left. Ooh, and I'm not even not even switching over to range, excuse me. And it would be cool to not have to sip a prayer sip for... Oh, man. I was messing that up hard. Never mind. Let's just sip it. Couldn't even finish a thought. It would be nice to save that prayer sip just for, like, the 3 or 4 hits that we're trying to get here. But GG's, son. Ended up tanking a little bit at the end, but since I had a good start to the fight, that didn't matter. I wouldn't even call that a clean croc by any means. 420 out of it's hilarious, don't get me wrong, but, basic croc fight. Could've been better, could've been worse. I tried to blow it at the end, I guess. Alright, there's a plugin for these now, so I feel less inclined to explain exactly what I'm doing while going through them. There's not much to talk about with this puzzle, to be fair. You just step on what it shows you. This one sucks already. No, did I go early? I did. I need to wait one more tick, or I would have fucking stepped on that one. Idiot. Beautiful. Alright, the math one. I don't even do this one like everybody else, because I'm a fool. Instead of memorizing, I just count it. Dude, you imagine knowing the number, though? 31. So this is 20. This is 31. No, I didn't step on that. Oh, I stepped on a W up there. That's funny. I meant to start with that. 8. I ended up accidentally stepping on the other. Fork, boot, diamond, prayer. Wiggle. Prayer's up here. Knives are down here. Boot, diamond, wiggle. Beautiful. Still out of here in over a minute, but not bad. That's because I messed up the memory puzzle. Probably a minute and 5, minute and 8. Minute 14, dude, terrible! Restart the whole raid. JK, if I guessed a minute and 14, I would have been hyped with the time, but the fact that I said a minute 5 and a minute 14 would have fooled. I would love to wait 9 seconds for this buff change, and I'm not trying to run a PB or a world record right now, so by the time I explain myself, those 9 seconds have already happened, and we're good to go. So sip now, go ahead and put on Preserve is super convenient. Piety would have been smart too. I did get it on, we're good to go. I actually want to get the first dung on this square. In a team, we usually default over this corner. But this is kind of nice for dealing with the soldier and more overlords. Let's see if I get another poke. Yeah, buddy. So now if I walk over here, I'm going to go ahead and use a spec also. It's going to spawn the spitting scarab, like right here. And it's going to spawn the soldier over here. So the soldier's going to go all the way around to come find me. And it gives me some time to try to KO the spitting scarab first. And then I could potentially protect from the soldier. This thing's going to egg, though. So I'm going to get hit by the, not the arcane, the agile scarabs. It's alright. Not at first, because I can protect range. Alright, I got poisoned by this guy. Luckily, we bring that Sanfu. Here comes the soldier. I'm going to flick on Protect from melee as he snaps at me. He's super inaccurate, so it's really not that big of a deal to not be protecting from him, but sometimes he just pops like a 48 on you. It's a bit of a pain. I think I switched back a little early there. He does attack super slow. You can see his little pincers go. Snap. GG's, and while that all happened, we didn't get any Scarab Swarms. I'll admit, even if I'm not running more Overlords, I'm pretty lazy about the Scarab Swarms. I let Kephri get back up to full health more often than not and overcharge. That's definitely something I gotta work on more. When I do actually try, I often get like a little bit of progress with making sure she doesn't overcharge, but I kind of 50-50'd enough times that I've just defaulted, go more overlords and just kind of worry about that later. It's not like I'm taking any damage here. This just costs a little bit of time, of course. You're trying to go a lot faster than you want to KO those swarms, but then prayer points. Otherwise, as long as I don't run into these fireballs, we're good to go. I do want to make my way to the other side. Oh, am I going to get dunged? I don't want to... No, sweet, sweet, sweet. I did get dunged over there already. I would like to be near the arcane when it spawns. There it is. 28 from the soldier. Chill, bro. Oh, yeah, it moved. I went for one attack and didn't see it fly. Just saw that it was gone. I was like, wait, what happened? It's out of there, bro. You scared it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and spec the soldier twice here and see if it would be a little better. 13 health. Whoa. All right, I'll sip. I would really prefer to get through this room without sipping. We're still kind of working for Sketchers right now. Hold on. Butte. Definitely sip that super combat just a bit too early. Notice how I have 80 seconds till the next buff change when I'm already down to 118 or 117, excuse me. It's not that big of a deal, but if you're trying to PB, if you're trying to hit that world record, it is. There's a lot of things I wouldn't do that I'm doing here if you were trying to hit that world record, boys. We're not speedrunning necessarily. 10 minutes in. World record, as far as I'm aware, is 20 minutes, 10 seconds from Smork, so we're halfway there. It'd be cool if I didn't have to keep sipping restores, but we should have plenty. If I need to flick prayers, I really don't mind doing it during Akkha. There's a lot of times with the blowpipe where you can save prayer. Stuff like that. Like while using magic in there, it's easy to save some prayer. Alright, I got 3 specs to launch. Very nice. JK, man, those were all pretty sweet. We tried our best. Alright, so I got 7 prayer points left. I'm rocking 53 health, meaning these agile scarabs are not going to KO me that quickly. So I could survive with not sipping up a restore and wasting any prayer there. Having enough restore left, it wouldn't have killed the sip restore to keep piety on. Technically, it's a little faster, but we did just 3 poke it. Wasn't that big of a deal. And again, I'm not speedrunning. I want the 2 salts, so it's a pretty easy decision to go power right now. I'm going to drop this quick and tap that salt. Put it back. I have just realized right now how cold it is in my room. Oh, also, what level is this monkey going to be? 0. We're going to be rocking a level 3 Akkha, by the way. If you do not want to do level 3 Akkha or Baba, you should pay more attention to the Walk the Paths level than I do. I have gotten very complacent with just doing this in the exact same order. And occasionally, I rock a level 3 Akkha because of that, which I don't mind. But if you hate Akkha, you don't want him at level 3. Even in general, rocking level 2 and 1 for these, because I had a level 1 bug. If I went to Akkha right now and he was level 2, I could have come back and done this monkey at level 1. I'd be a little bit faster than level 3 Akkha and 0 in here. It's not too bad to kill this shaman before those 2, because now we're going to get another spawn while I'm trying to kill the shaman. Those other 2 tend to be quicker to kill. Oh my goodness. Thought I clicked an hour ago. That volatile should have had me. Didn't, though. There's another ranger, right? Yeah, he's over here. Like, he should be throwing at me. Let's target this special monkey first, because we're just protecting from these 2 guys, and there's no other monkeys hitting me. We do have melees coming out now. No, actually, we're getting rangers again, aren't we? Yep. We go ahead and poke this ranger. And make my way Oppo Taco. Oops. While attacking the shaman. Go ahead and vent. Use me. Come on. Come on. I think this one's at like half health too. So it wouldn't kill me to do this. Little piety flick. Protect from melee wouldn't hurt it. You know at range because there are 2 of these guys here. Very nice. A volatile did get tapped. Let's go ahead and KO this shaman and then deal with some painters over there. Hold on. Oh, I didn't actually do that. I do that at least once every other raid, dude. I'm telling you. I run over to the vent. Wait a second while I'm trying to like still DPS because you can do it last second. And then forget that I never did the vent in the first place. Let's try to still end this with full health. A little bit of blood spells. I was going to say blood spellage, but that's too close to blood spillage. And it's kind of just weird to say. Not going to lie. I'm going to go ahead and live 1 spec on this baboon shaman. We probably get enough spec back by the time we fight Baba, thanks to this ring. Go ahead and heal up instead of freezing these guys. I don't mind dealing with the painter. Whoa! Stepped around the pillar on me, didn't ya? As I freeze the second one. I wanted 1 painter to be stuck. Luckily, I bring the Sanfu life. And now we're going to get another spawn because there's the last special monkey in the room. No! I did it again! Oh my god! Hold on, I'm still going to end this with full health. I mean, if I have to sip a brew, that doesn't count. Excuse me. I'm going to end this with full health without sipping a brew is the goal. A little bit slower, but we've been saying that all raid. A lot of little bit slower going on, right? Goodness, dude. Use the potion. What have you guys learned today from Dak's video? Use the potion on the vent. Was that last? Oh, yeah, this was last. We're probably not getting full health. I thought we were not nearly as far in. We've probably been doing this for longer than I thought, too, then. I'll do another spec on this shaman. Are we? Yeah, we are. Pillar life. Get there in time. Go over here and finish this guy off. We won't get to full health, but we tried. Dude, these things dance. Look at them go. It's trying to get me over in that acid. Imagine using your potion. We're going to be done anyway, right? No, I got one on me. Never mind. I could have blood spelled to be a little closer to that full health claim that I made like 4 times. Yo, that was not a clean monkey room. Have I had 1 clean room yet? No, I don't think so. Alright, we're off to Baba. We're still salted up for plenty of time. I'm going to go ahead and put this on. Move some stuff up here. Make sure I have my 4 most important range switches up in this corner. Since I am salted, just these 4, and I'm rocking Dragon Darts, I should hit a 25, meaning I don't have to use an offensive prayer to one-hit these boulders. Put on this overhead, and I'm going to go ahead and tap the Sanfu Serum Sip and not use a spec, you fool. Let's actually use a spec this time. Yeet. Wow, dude, I should have went back to no specs. And we poke. 50 energy again. I'm going to go ahead and try it. There you go, dude. A 4. You know, he's a little bit weaker now. Just 4 less defense levels. I guess it kind of helps, man. Whatever. I'm going to go ahead and poke the baboons. One's not quite KO'd. You ran away a little too soon, son. Was kind of sketch dancing around the rock, but I had faith I was getting back in time. Alright, so I want to hang out by this rock because it's a little closer to the bottom of the hill. This part's dangerous if he kicks. This part isn't, it looks like. Yeah. I could mark more of these squares, but I don't. What's wrong with me? So, save here. And I want to take this a little bit lower anyway. It's going to drop a rock down there. Yeah, look at that. But it's going to kick me soon. It's nice to be right at the wall when you get kicked, because then you don't have as much lag there, not as much end lag after. We're going to get another throw. You know, I probably could have made it if you actually attacked, bro. You imagine? Oops. I do that pretty consistently. Imagine having your cape on, too. So I got a 25 without having the assembler on. I wouldn't have noticed that I didn't have the assembler on if it weren't for darts being on the floor. No! Dude, that's just bad fucking spacing on my end, let's be honest. I'm gonna double sip here. Alright, now I gotta make a decision on what I say here. I often say during most of my full hours, most of my full raids, that the goal of the full hour is not to show like a perfect raid. I would upload a video rather where I was like my PB and put, like, the quick time into the title and stuff if I was just trying to show, like, my most perfect raid. So messing things up will often help with seeing, like, what to do when you mess things up and how to get out of that. Which, when you're learning a raid, when you're trying to figure out how to do expert modes, that's going to happen to you often, that you mess up and you need to now figure out how to get out of this situation you got yourself in. That being said, not having a good raid right now. We'll get through it, dude. We're not on a bad raid either. I got plenty of potions for Akkha, and then we get potions afterward. If I get a rock thrown at me, I just gotta hustle. He's using Shadow at the moment. The ground quake, whatever you call it. There we go. So let's try to get these rocks right this time. One example of bad rocks, one example of good ones, maybe. Get up close, step over. Probably could have made it there, son. And this is my punishment, dude. Every time you could have made it, he's gonna throw it 2 rocks over. It's crazy. Let's do it. Let's do it. It's insane. He's, like, guaranteed. If I didn't go for it, that was gonna be this rock this time. Alright, I'm still taking decent damage. He's smacking through prayer like he does. That's his job. But still, I'm gonna back up. Withdraw my salt. Resalt up now. Please do it. Go ahead and stab. Uh-oh. The 17, yeah, he could KO me. Alright, I had pretty good potions for Akkha, and I've had to use like 4 sips since then. So we'll have to have a clean Akkha, which will be the first clean room of the entire raid. No worries. That plus a decent Warden. We're still hitting the 40-minute timer, no problem. And hopefully what you've learned is how not to raid. My goodness. Any of you seen Kicking and Screaming with Will Ferrell? I almost said like Phil? Where's I going with that, man? Kicking and Screaming has the quote I need here. Like, do everything opposite of what I said. Do everything that I didn't tell you to do. See what I've done here? Just don't do that, and you're gonna have a good raid. We're actually doing fine. 18 minutes in, 20 minutes in because of in-between raid time, and it's mostly about brews used in that room. The kind of, the bad croc and the bad bug room weren't too bad. I used a little bit of brew in the bug room. That's gonna happen sometimes from the soldier, so I kind of sign up for that by using more overlords. We clearly have to go north here, as you can see him setting up. Actually, no, you could do both on this one. Oops. If you set up your shift click for spinning around, the mirror is super nice. So my left click is pick up, but if I shift click, it's rotate clockwise. Oops, I went one too many. Go ahead and push and hustle over there. Use my spec. Put my mage gear on. Move stuff around. We should be good to go. I've seen people ask about getting this in 1 down. It is based off your mining level, how much damage you do. That's why using a dragon pickaxe spec helps you out. But if you have low mining, then you don't do as much damage to that thing. And you do have to click it like right away to get it in the 1 tick or the 1 down. Alright, move things around. Put the pickaxe away. That'd be embarrassing. I've definitely forgot my pickaxe and brought it with me on the final fight a few times. But we're not having nearly a clean enough raid to make that mistake right now and then laugh it off. Now we're good. Move things around. We're good to go. I don't have a ton of prayer, do I? Actually, have pretty good restores. Never mind. I was going to say I should flick, but I'm making a lot of mistakes and still got pretty good supplies. Really what's going to happen is I'm likely going to use up the last bit of my brews. Right as we're going to go into final Akkha phase here, because it's really good to be like full health when you go into that phase. I definitely missed a couple magic attacks here too. Let's lock it in, son. Alright, so he's only going to get a couple of melee swipes because that took a while. He's probably going to switch soon. I don't have Stay Vigilant on, so it's every 7th attack normally. But it's also, if you don't let him switch in 60 seconds, he'll switch. There it is. And we got the paint, so as long as I don't move around, we're good to go. But even if you move around like this, like you're pretty safe in solos. I am going to dump 2 specs here. This would be a good time to claw, but I don't bring my claws in for that extra potion, which we might need at this point. See, I wasn't so ridiculous at the beginning of the raid, being like, I'm going to bring extra potions and less switches this time. Raid number 1 on the day. It's not like by raid 5 I'm a total pro, but we're level 3, so we're getting 5 colors in this. It's just red and black. He's going to be on magic while we use range. So without Stay Vigilant on, this is a really simple time right now that I could just click on my prayer. Just clicking once per tick, but we're already on the shadow. My goodness, what happened to your overhead, son? Sheesh, take it all back, dude. You can't do anything right. Each time I've tried to flick my prayers, I fucked them up. I've brought up the opportune times for it, but not doing it very well on my end now, am I? Like, if you were really low on prayer points for this part, for instance, I actually would just only protect from melee. Back up, son. Sheesh, dude, but he smacks even through protect from melee. I wonder why. It's like he's level 3. Oh, yeah. So again, if you don't like Akkha, do him earlier than I did it. Alright, memory attack started at white, yellow, black, red, and black. I'm going to dump 2 specs here. Or one, very nice. And if I was doing really bad on health, which, I mean, we're doing okay. This is not the worst time for a BP spec in emergencies on the Shadow. BP spec is pretty good at not healing you for that much, dude. Occasionally you get a thick hit, but I swear, man, BP spec, it's rough. Oops, we're not done with the Shadow, son. There you go. And one step at a time, you can afford to paint and move yourself over. I really don't have to be close to the Shadow, because we're probably not getting to it before he switches. Maybe, though. Blowpipe doing work. Maybe. Come on! My goodness, no way. Just couldn't perform right at the end. Dude, the Wiz Khalifa special? Right into the Shadow. Beautiful. So this is last Shadow. Definitely didn't get that cape on. Dragon Dart. Pick it up right as it gets KO'd. We're still using magic, but he's going to switch soon. I should use a brew right there. If you use a brew right at the 15-second marks on assault, you just re-up the salt immediately. Man, I think I got the 1 magic attack in. No, I didn't even see the 0. I don't think I got it in. Never mind. I tried. Oops, stop painting, son. Alright, I got full specs. I could throw one down now, but I'm going to save it for the enrage phase that we're like about to have. Dude, we're cruising. My goodness. I didn't heal up all the way. And I am going to do that just in case. Could heal up one more time, but we're good. Stab. I'm going to wait till I have salt again for specs. Messed that one up. That was an easy dodge, too. That one I ran right into. That one I almost ran into. My goodness. That one's coming at me over there. If you like True Tile Marker, that can help you in this room. I personally kind of hate it in this room. Oh, shit. I just sniped that one. You see that? Not doing the best, but we're making it through no problem. Ready? Let's back up here. Right into that orb, dude. Maybe if I zoomed out a little. Maybe if I would just zoom out a little. I still had a little bit of brew going into that, so I had a clean fight before. Remember I said during the fight I probably would be out of brew and would have to do that pretty well. I didn't do that well, but I had some brews and we got through it. As long as I have, let's see, a normal Warden fight. I'm definitely taking life because I need all these supplies. We're not going to be rocking sub 35, but we're still fine on the sub 40, which is why I currently run sub 40 on my expert modes instead of 35. I think my PB is just under 31 now, but there's a lot of things I could do to still shrink that down. I'm really much more interested in consistently completing the raid at the moment. I only got a decent expert mode KC, so the more I can just get the raid done, the happier I am with it, and we're on pace for that right now. I'm going to sip this liquid adrenaline right after I tap the salt and dump a couple specs on Obelisk here. I am going to run, we probably would be okay with just the one. I am going to run the same set of Wardens I normally do. Wow, my gear's messed up. Hold on. Now I'm like confused. Alright, I do like having the Litness Warden second because of having Akkha. It's really not too bad to have Zebak's Phantom, but you don't have to pay any attention if you have Akkha's Phantom and you're not using Stay Vigilant. In-raid potions don't seem to drain your stats as much, so if I sip a Nectar there, and then I sip another Nectar, you see that I'm still a little bit over 99, and then we pop back up, we're going up to 125. If you do that with a Brew, sometimes you get about 98, and you get popped up to 124 range. Does that make a huge difference being at 124 or 125 range? No, it does not. But still, it does make a difference. So it's worth noting that even though I just sipped that one brew sip that I have left, if you have a decision between the in-raid potion or the brew that you brought in, like always go for the in-raid potion, I guess. Getting that one sip that I had left was nice to get rid of some NV space. Also, if I do this, I get another NV space. There you go. Alright, 2 Mechans Warden. It's pretty much like Phosani's Nightmare Simulator. I mean, not even Phosani's. If you soloed regular Nightmare, then you usually stand up next to him using Protect from melee and just switch to the others. Beautiful. We're going to step through. Almost stepped right into it. I did go a little earlier than I planned on, not going to lie. Alright, that's down already. Am I getting hit by it? Nah. And we attacked right away, so I will get the 6 attacks in here. And you notice that I sipped my liquid adrenaline again. I didn't have to do it quite yet, but I usually forget to get the second sip in before the second down on this Warden and kind of mess up getting it done in 2 downs. So I threw down a BGS smack for the 6th hit. If I did a DDS spec, only the first hit of the DDS spec would have counted, just based on timing there, so getting that 6th hit as a BGS smack is worth. And if you do Wardens in like the opposite order, if you fight the other Warden first, you have Lidness's Warden right now and 2 Mechan next, you get a little bit more time on the second down to be able to drop this in 2. But we have the right setup here, we will be able to drop it in 2, as long as I don't mess up. Should stop talking and not mess up. So I healed up a little, used my restore. Salt is about to re-up, so we're going to be max hitting with the dagger. Oh, lightning skulls. I wasn't really paying attention. I could have... Oh, my goodness. I just misclicked hard. Sheesh. I could have KO'd me. Let's go in Ambrosia. That could also do some work. I could have moved by the second one, but... just so much happened. So the misclick I just made, you probably didn't even see it. I clicked up on my client. I almost full screened. If I double clicked... Oh, shoot. Switch up, son. So we're getting a regular stab first. Piety on. Spec on. Melee gear is not all on. And we're just going to rain specs for a little bit. Thanks to the Light Bearer, we have a bunch of them to use still. I think we just end it with the next hit. We probably could have BGS smacked or something if I mathed it out right. But we made it in 2 downs. And I totally could have gotten KO'd by the Warden there on the Lightning Skulls. I misclicked by running away from them, but you can step within like 1 or 2 squares of the skull as long as you're northeast, south, or west. You can't do that diagonally of it, but you can stand right next to where the skull lands and not get hit by it. And I really should have defaulted that, but I didn't notice the skulls were coming out right away, and no doubt I just fucking tried to quick run away from them, and I totally clicked on my client. Like, if I do it right now, I could have double-clicked and went full screen like that. Let's go back and not look stupid. I could have made it a lot worse on myself. In other words, like that was mad misclickage, but we're okay. So since I'm rocking a 5-tick weapon and we have Overclock 2 on, he's attacking every 4 ticks. You can't get 1 attack in each time, in other words. Oops, let's go down here. And we're not rocking Insanity, so we don't have to be tick perfect on this. Nor do I have to know where he just left off on his ground attacks currently. Which is good, as I've made a pretty good chunk of mistakes during this raid. I probably would blow it on Insanity late at this point. I could have dumped a BGS spec on Alidness's Warden 2. I still could do 1, so let's go ahead and do that instead of just saying we could. If I went quick enough, I still would be on my Liquid Adrenaline, or if I just sipped it a little later than I did in the middle of last phase, and probably could have knocked out 2 specs. It's not a huge deal. It does make it more convenient, but we have more supply. We have enough supplies, excuse me, so we're surviving this fight as long as I don't blow it. And we're still going to make the 40-minute timer, so... We're A-okay, in other words, but, not the cleanest raid for Expert Solo number 1 at the moment. I think I ended up getting 4 regular raids out, just normal modes. So we might end up getting 4 full solo Expert modes. I want to do versions for, like, 350 because of the cape and stuff. Like, we'll probably have a lot more Expert Solo mode videos than the normal modes that I put out when it comes down to it, but... Definitely for this first one here, not too clean, and we're still getting through no problema. Now, if you're rocking more budget gear, you do have to be cleaner. That'll be, some of the vids I do will be with more of a budget gear setup. Worth pointing out that sometimes you can get carried if you just have good DPS. It's not doing the raid for you having good DPS, but it does help. And you can see I kind of been mindlessly switching my prayers for Akkha. He switches every 3 attacks in here, so you really can be pretty brainless about it. Just kind of eyeball it. You don't have to count it out, and then you can just see he slammed his spear, so I know that I'm good to go. Also, I haven't been keeping too much track of like which skull we're on, but we have Kephri out already, so we know that there's only 1 skull left. So that'll be that number 4 I got down there, which we can head to now. And Akkha's gonna switch soon. Actually, I see him switching now, and I misclicked there. Good thing we're not on Insanity. On Insanity, I would have suggested there to not even attempt to switch prayers for Akkha. Try to get through the skulls, and then switch. Go ahead and tank him if you have to. But without Insanity, you do have time to mess it up. So I'm gonna slowly brew up a little bit. I did see Akkha switch just now. Let's sip this. Going to withdraw all supplies, move this around. So we're not rocking that much in the brew department, but I have 3 ambrosia sips still. So I think we're going to be okay. All right, he is on final phase, and Akkha just switched. I just switched over to my BGS stuff and put on Piety. We got a 57 is super nice. And a 72 is insane. Akkha just switched again. And now, really all I do here, we know that I'm rocking a T-bow, attacks every 5 ticks. So I walk 3 to 4 times between attacks, try to keep my feet moving. You know, just popped an 80. Akkha's switching there. I'm mostly watching the floor and just kind of in my peripherals watching Akkha. And really paying as little attention to the boss and like its health is not just like DPS until it's done. Oh, I'm fucking up. Oh, dude, my prayer went out? Just fucking ambrosia, you idiot. God damn. He's using range attacks. Okay, so one thing you should pay attention to also is your prayer points, maybe. That's the beauty of ambrosias. You don't have to do much when you have them. You don't have to pay as much attention. Without a doubt, that was not the cleanest expert mode run, but I'm not here to like re-record that run just because there were mistakes. I brought up earlier that, in fact, those mistakes likely teach you more things than just a perfect raid, unless you are on the verge of a perfect raid. If you're almost running perfect raids every time, then seeing somebody run a perfect run is going to be a little bit more helpful. But if you're trying to learn, then hopefully this was fairly helpful. I'm not going to just end it without checking the chest, don't worry. We'll see if we get a spoiler for the Road to PVM God series. Nope! Deathless 3 hundo for nothing. Yo, there could be a pet, to be fair. You don't have to get a purple to get the pet. I did not get the pet, but I got Dragon Dart Tips, so it was a 1 mil chest. Beautiful. All right, that's going to wrap it up for this Tombs of Amascut Expert Mode solo. Not even the best run, but we still managed a 36-minute Expert. Didn't die on anything, even though I could have. So I'll always take that roll, but definitely could have had a better run in general. So if I were throwing down another one right now, I'd be looking to pop off a few minutes from that time. But this was just the 1 run video. We're done. I hope you got some useful information out of it. I will be throwing down more runs like this with different gear setups, different invocation setups. Even if with this exact setup, I may not have gone over a specific mechanic that you wanted to see an example of. So I want to get more of these video outs just so that you can see examples of how to do these bosses, maybe even how to mess them up and what to do when you're messing up to bring it back, which we showed a lot of in this one. All of that stuff. So thanks again for watching this video. I do hope you enjoyed. You can check the leaderboard on the way out. I do stream on Twitch, by the way. This should be linked down in the screen and in the description. I am also on Twitter. I have a Discord. Those are both in the description. And that's about it. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and best of luck on your Raids 3 grinds.